The morning had begun like any other at the upscale downtown cafe. It's a popular spot for business executives and local professionals alike. Among the bustling patrons was Jasmine Carter, a bright, ambitious waitress who had worked at the cafe for nearly 3 years. Known among her colleagues for her warm smile and meticulous attention to detail, Jasmine prided herself on her ability to navigate the high-pressure environment without losing composure. She had long dreamed of pursuing opportunities beyond waiting tables. But for now, she focused on serving each customer with care, unaware that that very morning would place her at the center of a story that would go viral and reshape the course of her life. At one of the corner tables, the atmosphere was markedly different. Seated there was Michael Travers, the founder and CEO of a rapidly growing tech company, whose reputation in the industry had been built on aggressive deals and high-stakes negotiations. Travers had earned the moniker of tech mogul among peers, often praised for his vision, but criticized for his volatile temper. On this day, he had arrived at the cafe with a potential investor, hoping to finalize a $200 million deal that would propel his company into the next stage of expansion. Dressed in a tailored suit, Travers exuded confidence, yet there was an edge to his movements, a subtle impatience that suggested the stakes were higher than usual. Jasmine approached the table to take their orders, maintaining her professional poise despite the palpable tension emanating from Travers. She greeted them with her customary warmth, asking about their coffee preferences and daily specials. The investor, a composed and thoughtful man named Richard Hall, engaged in polite small talk, while Travers seemed distracted, scrolling through his phone between bursts of conversation. When Jasmine offered a suggestion on a menu item, Travers reacted sharply, dismissing it with a curt, "I know what I want. Don't waste my time." His words were brusque, but Jasmine continued with her professionalism, carefully noting the order and retreating to the counter to prepare it. What happened next would quickly become the pivotal moment of the encounter. When Travers returned a few minutes later to request a minor adjustment to his order, he directed his frustration at Jasmine, calling her stupid in a tone both public and demeaning. The word hung in the air like an unwelcome fog, causing other patrons to pause in their conversations. Jasmine, though momentarily stunned, refused to respond in kind. She took a deep breath, calmly corrected the error, and maintained her composure. It was an act of restraint that would soon carry profound consequences. Across the table, Richa Hall had witnessed the exchange. As a seasoned investor, he had seen many high-pressure interactions in corporate settings, but he had rarely seen a leader exhibit such blatant disrespect. Hall was known for valuing character as much as competence, believing that the way someone treated others was a reliable indicator of their integrity and suitability for partnership. Travers' outburst had, in an instant, shattered the carefully constructed image of professionalism he had hoped to convey. Hall put down his cup of coffee, leaned back, and quietly said, "I think we're done here." His voice was measured but firm, signaling the abrupt end of the meeting. Travers, oblivious to the gravity of the moment, attempted to salvage the deal, insisting that the insult was trivial and irrelevant to business discussions. He argued that the financial opportunity was far too significant to discard over a minor misunderstanding. Hall, however, was unyielding. For him, the treatment of Jasmine Carter was emblematic of the type of leadership and ethical standards that mattered in a partnership. Within moments, he had called his assistant, terminated the planned investment, and left the cafe. Leaving Travers to stew in his disbelief, the aftermath unfolded rapidly. Word of the incident spread quickly among the cafe staff and patrons, some of whom recorded snippets of the interaction on their phones. Social media amplified the story, with clips and posts highlighting both Travers' outburst and Jasmine's poised response. Public reaction was immediate and intense. Many expressed outrage at Travers' behavior, praising Jasmine for her professionalism and composure in the face of disrespect. The incident became a viral story, trending across platforms and drawing attention from mainstream media outlets. Journalists and industry commentators, analysts debated the consequences of poor interpersonal conduct in leadership roles, using the incident as a case study of how quickly reputations could be damaged. For Jasmine, the experience was transformative. In the days that followed, she received numerous messages of support, job offers, opportunities from organizations impressed by her grace under pressure. Interviews and media appearances allowed her to share her perspective, highlighting the importance of respect, dignity, and professionalism in the workplace. She emphasized that the moment was less about personal vindication and more about standing up against demeaning behavior and advocating for a culture of accountability. Her story resonated widely, becoming an example of how ordinary individuals could influence significant consequences through composure and integrity. Michael Travers, on the other hand, faced an abrupt reckoning. The loss of the $200 million deal was just the beginning. Shareholders, investors, and industry peers questioned his judgment and temperament. Corporate analysts dissected the situation, noting that such behavior was not only ethically troubling, but also financially damaging. Travers attempted public apologies and clarifications, acknowledging his frustration and admitting the inappropriate comment, but the damage had already been done. The narrative had shifted irreversibly, portraying him not as a visionary leader, but as a cautionary tale of how arrogance and disrespect could undermine even the most lucrative opportunities in the broader context. The incident sparked discussions about workplace culture, microaggressions, and the responsibility of leaders to uphold ethical standards. Seminars, panels, and articles dissected the story, using it as a teaching moment about empathy, communication, and the tangible consequences of mistreating employees or service staff. Jasmine Carter became a symbol of professionalism, resilience, and dignity, demonstrating how even brief moments of courage could ripple outward to affect change in unexpected ways. The story also revealed the often overlooked intersections of social dynamics and corporate responsibility. Travers' outbursts, though brief, highlighted underlying issues of entitlement, power imbalance, and the societal tendency to undervalue service workers. Jasmine's response underscored the capacity for individuals to assert themselves without resorting to confrontation or anger, demonstrating a model of effective response to disrespect that inspired audiences nationwide. Over time, her narrative became incorporated into leadership courses and motivational talks, illustrating how personal integrity could outweigh hierarchy, wealth, and status. Ultimately, the cafe incident was more than a viral sensation. It was a turning point in both their lives. Jasmine Carter leveraged her newfound visibility to pursue opportunities aligned with her long-term ambitions, expanding into consulting, public speaking, and advocacy. Michael Travers faced ongoing scrutiny, learning albeit the hard way. Professional success required more than strategy and capital. It demanded emotional intelligence, respect, and ethical leadership. The $200 million deal lost that morning served as a stark reminder that behavior and character were inseparable from business outcomes, and that the world was watching, often in real time. In reflection, the event marked a cultural moment, emblematic of a shift in public expectations of leadership and accountability. Jasmine's grace under fire and Travers' misstep became a narrative used repeatedly to illustrate the power dynamics in professional settings, the consequences of hubris, and the significance of treating all individuals with respect regardless of social or economic status. Her story became a blueprint for resilience and integrity, inspiring countless others to maintain professionalism even in the face of adversity, and reinforcing the notion that true leadership is measured not by wealth or deals, but by character and the ability to uplift rather than demean others.